At some point, perception becomes reality. What matters is voters think Biden's too old. What matters is he's gonna lose. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, first of all, I think it's a moot point at this point. He's gonna lose.
The problem Biden has, he's a reasonable person in an unreasonable age, right? He's
yes.
You know, like he's just
well
like.
Said. Fun story, 5 drag queens in Philadelphia did a reading, children's books reading as they do, made the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest way to get Trump reelected.
What's going on, guys? We gotta talk about Bill Maher, okay? Trump deranged, far leftist guy, okay? Pretty progressive, but he actually has some takes that make sense. He doesn't agree with having men and women's sports as an example. So some things that are kind of common sense, he gets if they're common sense enough, but anything that requires him to actually do some research into, such as Hillary Clinton and Stacey Abrams' election denialism, this guy totally puts his head in the sand, okay? He is no different from any other far leftist at the end of the day, okay? They're not gonna agree on 100% of things, but they will agree on a lot of things. And one of those things is certainly gonna be being Trump deranged. But it seems like he's losing hope for crooked, sleepy, falling down the stairs, falling up the stairs, can't put sentences together Joe Biden, okay? Because Bill Maher thinks he's going to lose. He had on a person, Kara Swisher, on his show. I really have no idea. And before anybody asks, I don't care to really know who Kara Swisher is, okay? I don't care if she's one of the most famous people ever, and I happen to not know. I took one look at her and I was like, not interested. But I was interested in this conversation because they had a conversation. Bill Maher thinks that Biden's toast. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you see it for yourself.
I can't say it enough. I said it many times. I would vote for his head in a jar of blue liquid over Donald Trump. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, first of all, I think it's a moot point at this point. He's gonna lose.
Who, Biden?
Yes.
No. You're wrong.
No.
I'm going to bet you.
Oh, great.
What should we bet?
No, nothing. You
Can
win.
I have ownership of this place?
So
No.
I want to preface. I want to preface this. So this lady is a lesbian. Okay. Now the reason why that's relevant is for a specific reason. I happen to think, and take this however you want, that a lot of people who are more so like that kind of LGBTQ type of mindset tend to think very differently. And a lot of people would argue have mental illness, would have some sort of mental issue. Okay, a lot of people argue that. That's something that I think, like it or love it, that's what I think. And one of the things that a lot of people would believe is something that is delusional, okay? And to think that Joe Biden actually stands a chance, in my opinion, is pretty outrageous. Now, we're a ways away from the election, but she seems way too sure of herself, considering the fact that this dude is literally falling up and down the stairs. He is sniffing girls on video. I mean, they found literal drugs, cocaine in the White House, did a cover up for it. The weaponization of the justice system. So like, you can't understand what he says. He can barely keep his eyes open. Yet Kara Swisher thinks that Joe Biden's going to win for sure. Make it make sense.
No, I'm not that. It's not the kind of thing I would.
Can I throw a bitchin' lesbian party here?
No,
You're not invited if he wins?
Not only will I not bet on this premise,
Okay.
You could change my mind on it in the next 2 minutes.
Right. I'm telling you he's going to win.
Convince me.
All right. There is you remember the silent majority with Nixon?
Correct. Yes, I do.
There's a silent majority of people who really don't like Donald Trump. And I can't.
I don't think they're that silent.
I think there's a noisy group, certainly. And there are elements of, going too far. But there is a quiet group of people. And I have a lot of people who are Trump relatives. And now they're women. They're all women.
Right.
There's a lot of men who, and my family, people I talk to, various people, who are like, I'm voting for Trump. All the women, quietly, no, absolutely not. And so I think there is that.
I mean, imagine you mean Donald Trump, the guy who loves straight traditionalism, conservative values. You mean the lesbian woman and her fans, the lesbian woman and her friends aren't gonna like Donald Trump? who knew? I don't exactly see Donald Trump out here waving around pride flags. Okay, so to say that you and your circle aren't exactly friends of Donald Trump, I mean, guys, this concept is ridiculous. And the audacity behind her thinking that the people that she talks to represent any type of majority. If anything, if you're not hearing anything from Biden fans, like they're kind of quietly not really saying anything, even if they might kind of whisper, yeah, I think I'll probably vote for Biden. That's a bad thing. That kind of proves that they're literally not even that enthusiastic. They don't even want to enthusiastically admit that they're going to support Joe Biden. That sounds like a problem potentially for voter turnout. You didn't think about that? Like, I mean, I don't really care. Like, he's not that great of a guy. Maybe when the day comes, I'm just not going to show up. That's a strong possibility. I actually think a lot of people are not going to show up for Joe Biden, and I think that's one of the main reasons why he's going to lose. I don't think it's because Trump. I think there's two reasons. Trump is going to get massive amounts of votes, way more than ever before. And two, a lot of people are just straight up not going to show up for Joe Biden because he's just sorry as hell. I think those are the main reasons why. Like, the economy is in shambles. The border is open. Now he's trying to shut it down at the last minute. Bro, it's too late.
Benefit. I think the issue is where the votes are, right? And I think that's definitely the worry, is if it's in Michigan, if it's in Nevada, if it's in Arizona, Pennsylvania, those issues. But as a whole, I think people will look at him and say, I just don't want that again. And Biden is the less problematic person who...
I mean, let's do this math. You want Joe Biden again? Things were great under Donald Trump until the pandemic occurred. Economic prosperity was through the roof. Okay, the prices were low. You didn't have to have 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. Now you do. You can barely afford to live. These people live in a bubble. A lot of people can barely afford to live, and they don't like it. This is the reason why a lot of people, especially minorities, are starting to gravitate towards Donald Trump. The fact that more of them aren't is kind of alarming considering the economic ramifications of it. But a lot of people are gravitating towards Donald Trump for economic reasons, okay? Because of migrant crisis reasons, because the migrant crisis affects us economically, okay? Joe Biden is not great economically. They could try to tote these job numbers all they want, but if you got to get 2 and 3 jobs in order to make the same amount as one job under the Trump administration, it sounded to me like, that Trump was the better man, point blank period. He was the better president. He knew how to make money. He ran this country like a business, whereas Joe Biden runs it like a politician. He fakes and pretends like he cares about everything, creating problems that he then turns around and fixes. He opened the border and then years later turns around and tries to use executive authority to fix the border, canceled executive orders from Trump, and then made his own executive orders years later to fix the border. Democrat strategy: create problem, fix problem you created, boom, elect me again. No, ma'am, not going to happen.
Kind of know how it's going to go, and we don't want chaos again, because I think people are sick of chaos.
You don't call what's happening right now chaos. All of these indictments after indictments, and like, come on, bro. All of these encampments on all these college campuses, the withdrawal from Afghanistan, that's chaos.
That is an absolutely possible scenario. This is why I would not bet on something like this. Do I think that's absolutely possible to describe? Yes. Or it could not be. And I can't tell the difference. It could go that way. There's also something called the reverse, the shy Trump voter.
Oh, I don't think they're shy anymore, those people.
No, well, you're talking about...
You can clearly see the lady's bias here. I know for a fact that there are some people who support Trump, like, in my personal life. Like, she's got her personal life, I've got mine. And I know some people that are Trump supporters that are not going to tell anybody, but they're definitely going out and voting for him, okay? Like, because, again, I'm a black person. It's rare for a lot of black people to come out and support Trump. Even before I started this channel, I had to think about how is this going to go when I started this channel as a black male coming out here staunchly supporting Trump and other conservatives that, a few of them like Ron DeSantis, Vivek, and so forth, Byron Donalds, people like that. And a lot of people do not have the courage to do so. Okay, a lot of minorities do not have the courage to come out and say they're going to support Donald Trump because everybody's going to act like you're stupid, you're Uncle Tom, you're a raccoon, you're whatever. Like, oh, you're supporting a racist. That's basically the narrative. But she's literally just painting. She has this whole thought process like in her head that is far removed from reality. She thinks every Trump supporter is like some raging MAGA hat wearing, like everybody got the MAGA hat on. Like every Trump supporter just out here with the MAGA hats, the golden shoes. That's what she thinks. But the reality, that's not the reality. A lot of people are just working Americans that just want to be able to afford gas, afford food, and occasionally take their family on the freaking road trip to the beach. A lot of people can't even do that.
Again,
Wow.
you're talking about the people who you see. The shy
Facts.
Trump voter is specifically something else. The shy Trump voter is the one who's going to vote for Trump, but doesn't want you to know it because it's a little déclassé. And they don't want it in whatever the company they're in. I mean, any place you went in this town, no one would say they're voting for Trump. And I'm sure he's going to get some votes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I think more than you think here.
No,
especially because
no,
of
I know.
Israel. I think it's because
Oh, yeah, right.
100%.
I think that's another issue that he's going to get destroyed on because all of these woke college kids are notorious. Like people in college and fresh out, notorious Democrats because they're being indoctrinated in the schools. I went to college. I graduated from college. And trust me, they're indoctrinating the kids. They're straight up manipulating, bullying, guilting, whatever you into voting Democrat, into being a little soldier, little propagandist. Okay, so it's a lot of people that's now in today's day and age with everything that's going on with Gaza. Oh man, these people are getting killed on this issue, and Joe Biden's going to get destroyed on this issue. That's another reason why he's going to lose.
And also then on the other side, which is the problem Biden has, he's a reasonable person in an unreasonable age, right? He's
Yes.
you know, like he's just
Well
like,
said.
well, you know, Gaza, there's a lot of really problematic situation there.
Guys, I mean, look, I'm going to keep it 1,000. We're never going to know exactly what's going to happen because it's a crazy world. A lot of crazy things happen. But this was, I believe, recorded after the Trump indictment where he literally gained like $400 million.
And by the way, right after the announcement of this, more campaign funds were given to this campaign than any campaign they think in history. Almost $400 million. 400! No, it's never been, nobody's ever seen, because they know it was rigged. They know it's a corrupt system.
In a very short period of time. And for those who don't do the math on this, this is going to be used to campaign. It's going to be used to hire workers to go out there, register people to vote for Republicans. Okay, it's going to be used as all-out war to have all kinds of negative ads against Joe Biden, positive ads for Donald Trump. Like, it's going to be used until there's 0 cents left. Okay, so, and there's going to be more fun. There's active fundraisers going on to get even more money. Okay, Trump is up in the polls rather than down like people thought he would be. Okay, so things just aren't looking good. And I think what this lady's saying is really just wishful thinking. Bill Maher here, in a rare moment, removed from Trump derangement, has realized the writing's on the wall. Okay, MAGA's coming, and it's time to let this dictator go ahead and take over. Okay, I'm obviously kidding because at this point I'm just feeding into it because yes, I hope that these people are afraid of the dictatorship, the revenge he's gonna seek, because it's like you might as well just laugh at these idiots because they're so hysterical and so Trump deranged. They act like it's gonna be the end of the world, even though Trump has literally been in office before and then he left. How about we elect him, we secure the border, get the economy great, and then 4 years later, he'll be on his way and that'll be the end of it. You ever thought about that? Whereas with Joe Biden in office, everything's getting destroyed in a measly 4 years. There's a big difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and it's about time these radical leftists wake up. And it seems to me like Bill Maher is right there. Next, we just got to get Cenk Uygur to just calm his Trump derangement down and accept reality for what it is too. So bend over. MAGA's coming, Cenk. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
I bet a guy at 37% can win an election. Get out of the race, Joe. That's why I'm in. You're going to ruin the Democratic Party. You're going to ruin this country.